What's up, everybody? My name's Josh.
And my name's Nick.
And we're here to give you
a reality check. Let's do it. Survivor 49, episode 6. We are back in the studio with a very dividing episode, I think. We are here with the one and only Sue Smey every single week. Hi, Sue.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for coming back and tolerating us.
Oh, my God. I love you guys. I look forward to this every week.
How did you feel about the episode overall?
Overall, this was the best episode so far. I really, really love this episode. What about you guys?
So too.
Agreed. I totally agreed. Of this season so far, like 49, I've said this multiple times. We hear it online. There's a lot of discourse. Not the greatest of new era, but I enjoyed this episode more than the others. So, kudos to them.
I do think that if some of the individual people were maybe on different new era seasons, I would feel differently about them. Like, there are some people that I'm really riding for. Like, I would have loved if MC maybe was on 47 or if she was on 48. Like, there are a few people that I think are really kind of carrying the edit of this season and actually here to play Survivor. And we got to kind of see a little bit more of that this episode. So I agree. I think this was definitely the highlight of the 6 episodes.
It's funny that you say that because I think about that a lot. When I watch the players, I'm like, I feel like if Sage were on 47, I think her and I would have been like this. I also agree with MC, Jawan too. Like, there's a Christina. Is that Christina?
Yeah.
You know, there are a few people that I always am wondering, I wonder what it would have been like, how different it would have been. And if we would have vibed well together. So that's definitely, it's funny that you brought that up because as I watch this, I'm always thinking about that. Would I have liked to work with them or not? That, like, someone like her, Savannah's personality, I don't know if we would have vibed so well because she is very type A personality and annoyed at everything. And when you're there, you know, there's a lot that goes on. So for her, I'm not nitpicking because I think she's playing a great game, but she's complaining a lot and picking on Jawan, which, I'm always for the underdogs.
Yeah. It's funny too that you say you would want to work with MC because she was an alternate for 47-8. So you could have, in an alternate reality, you guys could have been on the same season, So that's cool to think about.
My issue right now is that, I feel, and, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but, episodes 1 through 4, I feel like we're very focused on Kelly. So I feel like we had a lot of screen time of the people that are no longer there. And there's, 2 or 3 people that are currently there that we really did get to meet. We got to meet MC. We got to meet Savannah. We got to meet a little bit of Jawan, Nate, a little bit of the Yuli tribe. But, the people who are on Hina, I feel like I'm not as connected with.
Correct.
Out of the people that are left, we're really connected with Sophie B and with Alex, and then connected with Savannah and MC and Sage a little bit. But other than that, I feel like Steven, I feel like we don't really know him. Christina, I feel like we don't really know her. We saw a little bit of them, but now they're starting to get some screen time. Look, Christina had her first confessional last episode.
Yeah, that's bad.
Also is getting the Genevieve edit, not being seen for the first 5 episodes, is the other Sophie.
Yes.
So, I think this whole 6 episodes has had 1 to 3 confessionals this whole season. So it's interesting to see. So I don't know.
I agree. I was thinking the same thing. I didn't know who she was. You know, and now I know who she is, and I actually like her. I like her.
Yeah, I think she's cool. I think we're going to get a little bit, I think she's maybe a little bit of a sleeper pick. So I'm excited to see her kind of blossom hopefully into the merge portion of the game, but we will see.
Wait, talking about the merge portion, why did we think that this was about to be the merge?
Because it should have been, technically.
Gaggery.
Yeah, we will get into that because we walk right into an immediate challenge. After our tribal council breakdown, we roll up into a challenge. I love when they get right to it. And we jump right into a challenge, which we find out is a from 2 to 3 split, and It's a reward challenge.
Yeah.
I miss the days of Survivor where it was reward and immunity every single episode, just
Yeah.
because I love the challenges. Personally, I say this every year that I miss that. But you were gagged, Josh. How did you feel, Sue? Did you expect that was like a Survivor fake out, that they had the 3 courses, or were you thinking like, oh, they're going to 3?
Are you asking Josh or me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, you know what? I didn't know what they were going to do, but I wasn't expecting them to go to 3. I was shocked that they went to 3.
Yeah. I thought that it was maybe going to be just for the reward.
Yes.
That's I was like, okay, maybe.
When they walk in, you see the three things.
Yeah.
So, and I remember walking in when we were, 2, I believe. And then, they had, so I didn't realize that they were going to split us up and have us do the different challenges, but we still stayed with our, the way we were.
Yeah, this was when you infamously had hot dogs and played cornhole.
Yes.
And
yeah.
this was the episode where the "I'm gonna kill you, Kyle" edit was born. Yeah, this was like the same time as 47.
Yes. Yeah.
I made a sticker of you holding Kyle's head on your torch.
You made that, right?
Yeah.
That was the best. I love that's one of my favorite pictures. That's one of my favorite pictures.
It's so good.
Now that we're talking about it again, I'm like, why would they have gone back to 3 tribes? But this is the first time in New Era where we've had someone medevaced out. Usually there should be 13 people and there were 12.
Oh, you're right.
So at this point, maybe that pre-mergatory episode that we usually have, they were like, oh snap, we have an opportunity. And this is just me guessing, that we have an opportunity to kind of shift things up for viewers because we have an extra voted out, quote unquote, medvac player like
right.
Jake at this point.
So it wasn't the plan.
Let's try to throw a curveball at them. I don't know. That's just me thinking.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great thought. And I think that could totally be happening. I think Survivor production is very good at adapting. They're very good at making you think that this was the original plan,
Yeah.
But theoretically, if on this episode, there should have been 13 people. So I would love to have known what the original plan would have been. But nonetheless, I was excited, and we did get a tribe breakup.
Yes.
And they are as follows. On the new Uli tribe, we have Alex, Sophie with an E, Nate, Christina, Hina is Sophie with an I, MC, Savannah, and Rizzo. And then on the new Keller tribe, we have Steven, Shannon, Jawan, and Sage. All fighting for grilled cheese.
Let me tell you.
Grilled cheeses looked like shit.
Let me tell you.
I was ready to eat one.
I would eat when you're there. I'm telling you, when you are there, anything sounds good, even if you would never ate it. Even we saw Kyle on my season. He was a vegan, right? And he started eating. You're starving, like literally starving, as we were talking about last week. Like nobody understands it. But I'd love to talk about what happened with Christina, because like I always say, I look at things a little bit differently. She wasn't feeling well. Maybe they said it was the adrenaline rush and then everything else. But, when she started talking about missing home and missing her family, things like that get me. That's where I think viewers at home, you hear it and you're like, oh, wow. But I've been in her shoes, and I've been there where I've cried, and I've been there where I'm just like, am I going to go on or am I not going to go on type thing? Well, I never was going to not go on. But like with her, I was questioning, is she going to just quit? And you can never explain to the viewers who haven't experienced this of how deep that really is and how true that really is and how homesick you become. And my heart just sunk for her. I felt like I was back there when I missed my family. Yeah. So, I give credit for her sticking through it, because for a minute, I didn't know if she was going to keep going,
I literally, at first, when I was watching it, I was like writing something in my book, and out of my peripheral, I thought I saw something fall out of her buff. So I was like, oh, this like a little like clue fell out of her buff, and she's like pretending to faint or like whatever so she could bend down and pick it up. But then I said to my mom, I was like, did something fall out of there or did I make that up? And she's like, I didn't see anything. So I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this is actually happening. I did feel for her in that moment because all you have to do out there is be hungry, be paranoid, and think about home. Like, that's all you're doing out there, you know?
You have nothing but time. Nothing. And on top of worrying, you know, the paranoia gets you too. So, you know, I gave her credit. And so my heart goes out to her.
See, I looked at it a little differently because, like, I see Christina and I'm like, oh, homegirl. And listen, she's a diva. Miss Diva Down is having a panic attack. I'm like, not the analytical Andy episode 1, like 47 do-over.
Oh my God, I forgot.
I'm like, oh my God. She thinks that her game is, this is how I looked at it. I was like, she thinks her game's over because her safety net of Hina Strong winning everything is now gone. She's on a tribe with people she doesn't really connect with. And she's like, oh, she's at the bottom of her. Like, in my head, I'm like, she's having a panic attack because she just went from riding coast down to being in danger.
Yes.
And then she like, it all just hit her at one time. And I was like, oh, Miss Diva is feeling it hard.
Yeah. And then she bounced back from that and had the worst performance in the challenge.
That was
oh my God, it was so bad. Moving into the challenge a little bit, we had a lot of like back and forth here. There was like some comeback kid actions. Jeff was talking about how Steven has a long pole that he's sticking out. Like Jeff needs to chill because he's always like, Steven's playing with his balls. And I'm like, he is always doing too much with the narration.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But how painful, that was painful. But I have to tell you, these challenges, you know, last week was the cage in the water. And I'm telling you, that had to take hours. This challenge too, and that was another thing I was thinking with Christina was when you go there, and again, you're saying she may be overwhelmed with now being with new people, what's going to happen. But when you walk on there, every single person that walks on that beach is looking at the challenge and assessing it, looking at what are we doing? Oh my God, we got to push this heavy thing. Oh my God, those sandbags are freaking heavy. So I've been impressed with what they're doing. They're really pushing the limit with these challenges when you're so depleted of food this early on. And I don't remember us having things that were just so heavy, but last week's challenge was depleting. This one, pushing those carts, look, you saw they all pushed and like they didn't even move.
Yeah. Very, very strenuous beginning to the season for sure. Yeah. I think they're really trying to push the exhaustion earlier because of the shortened game. I think if you get them more tired earlier into the game, that's when the paranoia and the good TV maybe starts.
Oh, yeah.
But I liked this reward challenge. It definitely looked difficult. There were some funny moments. We see that Hina landslide victory, and Uli did have that comeback moment with Alex. And you know that Christina was like, oh, thank God, because I just completely shit the bed when we walked up here and shit the bed in the challenge. So like, thank God we pulled it out. Like,
so bad. That was brutal.
This is also, I don't know if you guys noticed, this was the first challenge that everyone participated in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is the first thing that Sophie with an I hasn't lost. This is the first time that she is eating in 11 or 12 days.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to see that she was on the winning tribe.
You call her Sophie with an I, and I just go Sophie B, Sophie S.
I didn't know their last names, but I honestly, what we should call them is Sophie and the other Sophie, because she doesn't get any confessionals.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
We should just rename her Genevieve.
Hey, that could mean she's the winner. Or close to being the winner.
Listen. Fuck. So we have a little bit of like, you know, introductions. People are feeling unsure. We have Nate and MC on their respective tribes who are kind of like, this was the worst possible thing for me. I'm on the bottom now. We see that Joanne and Steven immediately form kind of like this nerdy bromance that's happening. Sage is catering to Shannon as she does.
Oh my God.
Very interesting.
How crazy was Savannah with Shannon this week with like being like the whole I'm gonna schmooze with her and they're blowing the kisses and Sage's faces. She had me cracking up. That was so funny.
Sage is just whoever was assigned, whichever producer was assigned to Sage, like they need a raise, because the captured moments of Sage's reactions and the true feelings of Sage in these moments is like so good, and you can just tell that this person is a veteran of Survivor filming, because it's just so good. When
she said, "I'm going to put on the schmooze," and then all of a sudden Shannon's blowing her a kiss, I was cracking up. I was dying. It was just
I'm sorry. The second that Shannon said, "I remember being in the womb," I would have done this.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
You remember being in the womb?
Yeah. How does that even come out of someone's mouth? Honestly,
how does anybody believe that?
To be saying that, like,
I don't know what compels a person to think that that's true, and what compels a person listening to it to believe it. They all have to think that she is like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
She's a pathological liar. I think that she's convinced that anything that comes out of her mouth is true. Sorry, Shannon. I literally wrote down Shannon is my least favorite new era player. I literally wrote Shannon is my least favorite player, even under Rome.
Wow.
Rome grew on me. Not too much on Rome, the host. We love Rome. No. It's funny because the expectation I had for Shannon, I thought I was going to love her. I thought she was going to be an iconic crystal-loving diva. And the expectation I had for Nate, which was I'm not going to like him, he's going to be weird, I'm not going to click with him, is completely different. I love Nate. He's super cool, super nice. And Shannon is just kind of nuts. Like, I'm sure she's a super nice person in real life, but the portrayal that we have seen of Shannon on this season of Survivor is literally unhinged, needs a grippy sock vacation. Like,
do you think that it's real?
What'd you say?
Real? Do you think it's real? Is this true her, or is it
not? I hope not.
For her sake, I hope that it is, because it's a very accurate depiction of who she is. And if I'm going to go on Survivor and portray this character that I can never let the mask drop, I would have picked something else. I would not want to be known as this crazy, when they were in tribal, spoiler alert, they go to tribal. She was sitting there like a boomerang on Instagram doing this. I was like, is she up? Like we need the medical team. Is she okay? Like, I just want to know how she passed the psych evaluation.
Yeah.
In casting. Like, genuinely, she is so left field that she is off the damn course. Like, it's crazy to me. I don't know. And I don't know if it's...
What about... See, you did bring up tribal. I know you probably want to talk about it later, but she had to been so blindsided because she was so full of herself in a way and cocky, right? Don't you feel like she was all smiles?
I feel like that is how she's played this whole game. Like, just very self-assured. Not even... I don't know if it's arrogance or cockiness or just like full-blown delusion, but she was so self-assured that, like, oh, me and Sage have a great budding friendship. I'm really close with this person. Christina and I are on this different soul wavelength. Just like the internal, it has to be delusion, I guess. I don't know, but it's been interesting to see. I'll stop rambling. I can feel myself rambling, and I can talk about her for another hour. I swear.
What do you think, Josh?
I don't have anything positive to say about Shannon. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. She's not a character I connected with. She's not somebody that, like, I have felt like this in the past, and maybe it's just because I have a big ego, but, like, I look at Shannon and I see how she's being portrayed, and I'm like, you picked her over me? Like that's just how I feel. Like, I just look at her and I'm like, right.
But look what we're doing. There's a discourse about her. There's a reaction.
Lot of conversation about her, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure social media is social media going crazy about her?
Social media needs CPR. Bring out the paddles for this season, because nobody is talking about this season. Like, Josh and I typically will like live tweet as we watch, and there's like no buzz. There's usually every Wednesday Survivor is trending on Twitter. And I don't think that that's happened once this season.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
And we follow people who, like, this is what their Twitter is.
Yeah.
Your Twitter is Survivor quotes, Survivor affirmations. Like Like,
Survivor birthdays. Yeah, like, so.
and there's nothing. There's nothing. On Wednesdays, nothing's happening on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we head into the immunity challenge, we have a few highlights that I think important to touch on. We do see the friendship between Joanne and Steven, which at this point in the episode, I wrote down, Joanne and Steven are friends. It's going to be a Shannon flip. And we'll talk about that later. But then we have our girl Sophie, who has been down on her luck, kicked while she's down, hungry. She finally has her luck turn in this game of Survivor, and she finds an advantage, which I was so excited to see her do well. I think there's people that you root for on Survivor that you think they deserved this. They needed this. I remember when you found your idol, Sue, we were like, she needed this. She deserved this. She's been playing good, And Sophie has just literally been beaten like a dead horse this whole season.
And her attitude is so good.
Yeah.
Right? I've never seen someone so positive and so energetic than in the situation she's been in, right? Like she's really holding her own really well.
Yeah. So she has the knowledge is power advantage, which I'm glad that they are integrating different advantages into the mix. I wonder if this is the advantage that MC and Nate were going for during their journey, if this was when it was originally intended to be integrated into the game. I always think that way of like, the MCU timelines of like when they should have originally branched out. But to your point, you just made me think of something, Sue. Sophie's attitude is so good. And she hasn't eaten and she hasn't won anything until this episode. So you have her.
Like the lone survivor, right? Yeah. She's literally the lone survivor.
Yeah. And then you have Savannah, who has been well-fed, won a lot of things, has a pretty good alliance, and all she's doing is complaining. So it's interesting to see how, just how the mind works, how people's personalities and perseverance persist.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
Oh. It better be hot.
I love Savannah, and I don't think she has a bad attitude. I think she's just speaking the truth.
I don't think she has a bad attitude, but I think that she's like us. Like,
I feel as though if I was on Survivor, I would have that edit.
Yeah.
Like I fear as though I would be like, who the fuck is this guy, and why is he putting shit in my bag and taking my water when we have our initials? Like, bro, you know what you're doing. You're weird. This is weird. Go away. Like,
yeah.
I just fear as though I stand Savannah so hard.
I like her a lot too for the sheer fact that like coming from our community, people tend to be a lot more sassy, a lot bitchier.
Yeah.
Not saying that is Savannah. I don't think Savannah is a bitch. Whatever, people online, stop typing your comments. But she's a bitch, and I love it. Like, she just complains about what's on her mind. She lets it out. She rips people apart, and we are the same way. Like, when I go to Josh's apartment and I put my shoes in the area I'm not supposed to put them, Josh will look at me and go, "You leave everything everywhere. You have to stop doing this." It's not because he's mad at me.
After yourself.
Right. Well, listen.
Not too much.
Listen. But I just think Savannah is so opinionated and so she's a girl boss,
So would you want to be on a tribe with her?
I would that would be my ride or die.
Yeah, I think that the two of us would get along personally with Savannah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I want to I don't know, because I feel like she's gonna really be in a couple episodes, and I don't know.
Who? Savannah?
Yeah, I think that she's not that she's going home, that she's gonna get real cutthroat. I think we already seen that she has a very sharp personality, a sharp tongue. So I would be scared to see how sharp her gameplay is.
Yeah, she's my winner pick. I'm here for her for the end.
Wow.
I am very much like Savannah down.
Yeah,
that's my girl. And I will tweet. I will go on a Twitter war for her. I ride at dawn for Savannah.
Listen, we just like we did for you, Sue. We'll be in the Facebook, Instagram reel comments.
I will be in the
I love it.
Fighting with the 50-year-old woman over Savannah. Sue,
that's how I feel about
from Survivor's Facebook page for you.
You're the best. You guys are the best.
We were fighting with 65-year-old Karens being like, did anybody tell her she has mud on her face? And me and Josh were like, did anybody tell you your grandkids are ugly? Like,
I
like,
I went through people's Facebooks and said, don't you have a dead dog tomorrow? No, like I let them know.
Well, that's what's so good about you too, is that you're willing to fight for the people you love. And that's why I love you guys so much. So she's very lucky to have you on her side.
Savannah Lou, I freaking love you.
Oh,
that right.
Oh, give her a little.
Sorry. Okay, speaking of Savannah Lou, she and everybody else competed in this week's immunity challenge. I was hoping that we got the twist with 3 tribes, that maybe there was only going to be 1 immunity up for grabs, but alas, I was wrong. That would have been too exciting for 1 episode this season, I guess. And how did we feel? How do we feel about this challenge? I think that it was fine. You know, I don't think that it was anything, you know, groundbreaking for Survivor.
Right.
You know, but we did. Oh, this is where we had.
This
is where we had the funny moments. I'm sorry, I mixed up the challenges earlier. I apologize, everybody. But take us through it, Josh.
It was the same thing, really. Like, you know, Hina won, Yuli came in second, Kelly lost. Like it's literally the exact same rinse repeat all over again from episode 1 to right now, and it doesn't matter. Like the blue tribe this season is just cursed. Like I don't know what's happening, but like Kelly, get it together, sisters.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. The highlights for me were definitely Christina's poll, that she actually didn't make a pole. She made a lasso out of bamboo sticks.
Throwing it like that.
I was like, how did this woman make these bamboo sticks liquid? They actually looked like, I was actually impressed with how bad it was.
And I guess you can't swap out either. Once someone is chosen, they can't, because I would have been like, get her the fuck out and let me come in, because I can do better than that.
I unfortunately feel like Christina is feeling a little bit of the pressure of, Christina is the one in these challenges that they have to plan around. She's not great at puzzles. She's not extremely physically strong. No. She, you know, so they're kind of like where usually she sits out. So she couldn't sit out this time. So I think that this was the, you know, where can we put her that she'll do the least amount of damage, that she can succeed the best. And we all saw it. She got there in the end, which is important. She didn't give up, and she got there. I think that she was very, very happy that Alex pulled this comeback from behind win out, because if not, I think her lassoing those keys would have been her boot this week. But it was good. Sophie's first immunity, which I was very happy to see. She finally gets a night off.
First tribal that Sophie hasn't gone to.
Exactly. I mean, she's a tribal queen by now.
Yeah,
she is.
It was very interesting. We have Kelly back in tribal, and you texted me this, Josh. You said Shark Shannon, and I said, are they going to be Uli Strong or is it going to be Shark Shannon? And that was kind of the synopsis of the discussion, the pre-tribal discussions. There was a little bit of scattering, but for the most part, it was mostly pandering to Shannon's ego and comforting Juwan's nerves and Steven's nerves. Also, we didn't get any shot in the darks, and we didn't get any, leaks of information. At this point, I was feeling pretty confident that just based on the amount of facial expressions we got from Sage shown this episode, that Shannon was going to be going home. Almost like Sage was going to be victorious this episode.
No, Sage got exactly what she wanted, and thank God, because I feel like she wasn't getting the best edit the first couple episodes. And like, this is the first episode where I feel like I connected with Sage on a part where I'm like, yeah, I could key with you outside of this. Like, you're funny. You're good at facial expressions. And like, you're actually a cool person.
Yeah. I texted Josh while this was all happening. And I said, I desperately need to get a beer with this woman.
Can you imagine?
Funny. She is so funny. And I think that the reason people are having a hard time with Sage, I feel like there's either this love or hate relationship with Sage right now. And I think it's because people have a hard time digesting true authenticity on reality television. You have Shannon, on one hand, who is kind of this characterization of who she is, this yogi, this peace, love, happiness girl. And then you have Sage, who is actually completely thrown the curtain out the door and is just talking about farts, talking about poop, like is just authentically herself. So you either like connect to that as people who are authentic in their daily lives, or you don't. And I think that really tells a lot about a person.
Do you know what that shows you, though, too, which I think is very interesting, is that, like you said, people either love you or hate you. But like, so many people are so afraid to show their true person because of, are they going to like me? Are they going to accept me? Blah, blah, blah. And the fact that Sage is coming out here being like, fuck y'all. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is, you know, you either love me or hate me. And I always say, you don't like me, get back online with everybody else. And when you live that type of life, you've got the true people in your life. And the ones you weeded out, the ones that, you know, don't like your vibe, don't like what you do. But if this is what you do, own it. And she's proven, guess what? Maybe it's 50-50, but the 50 that love her, and they're impressed by her. So, you know, I give her credit. And the same with Shannon, or Shannon, right?
Yeah. You know what, though, too? Even the people who have, in their confessionals or whatever, have said that they don't want to work with Sage, every single person that we've seen discussing her has said she is 100% Sage. Like, nobody has, whereas like with Shannon, nobody has had the comments of like, is it an act? Is this how she truly acts? Like, nobody has questioned Sage's like character, her person. You know, everybody has said, I wouldn't really want to work with her, but she's a real girl. You know, she's a real bitch. You know,
what you see is what you get. And
yeah, definitely.
You know, you got to give that credit.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. You know, you want to go out on Survivor, and it's like a job interview. You want to talk about all of your best jobs that you've had and all the best experiences you've had, and put this facade forward that you think people want to digest from you. And I think that's kind of what Shannon was unsuccessfully trying to do. She was focusing on all these very specific parts of her interests and making them a more blown out version of her personality. And people saw through it, because I don't think she was being 100% herself this season.
Sometimes I just like to think, like, what would it be, like you guys could think it too, what would it be that she would say to you that like would get to you, like that she thinks you need to hear, you know, like it'd be interesting to see like how she would try to communicate and bond with each of all of us, right? Like what would it be? It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Especially because we are not very religious or spiritual. I'm more spiritual than Josh is.
Yeah.
And so I feel like kind of her foothold that she has been climbing on everybody with, I think she would have a hard time with us. I think that we're not very much like, and she is. So
she's so desperate to the one girl. She was just like, well, you're the oldest of four or oldest of three. Like she's trying to find whatever she can to like have something in common with people. And, you know, it's like so too much.
Yeah. Which I think in the early stages of the game is kind of how you play. You feel off of vibes. You're like, oh, you're from New York too. You know, like there are these things that I haven't seen how you operate as a Survivor player yet. So I have to go off of how you operate and the things that you've experienced as a human to see if we align just on a fundamental level.
Yeah.
And that's usually where the building blocks, you know, get set on. So I think she just tried to have too many like foundational relationships, and everybody started comparing notes, and then it kind of shattered the authenticity of all of those conversations.
And you have to wonder, was she asking questions about them or just telling about herself?
Yeah.
And you know what? Clock the gag. Freaking gag.
I think she would ask them enough questions to where she could figure out how to make the conversation about them through her. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, oh my God, this is going to be so nasty. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that anymore, because we get the tribal council. And I mean, we all watched the episode. We already said this before. They kind of painted it out to be, you know, the see you later Shannon.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that except Shannon, apparently.
Exactly. Wait, what about the handshake at the end when Sage wouldn't?
Stop it right now, because the way that I literally texted Nick and I was like, there is absolutely no way that Sage just clocked the absolute fuck out of this girl. And you know what? Credit to Sage for not being fake. She was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not going to give you some fake hug. Here's a handshake. And
I think that's more respectful.
Normalize it.
I think that's more respectful, and it's very bold in a game like this where other people are now watching you do this, and to the wrong person that could be very disrespectful or whatever. And it like, again, people are either gonna love that Sage stood all 10 toes down, like, I don't think I can have a connection with you, I respect you, see you later, rather than oh I miss you, we're sisters, whatever. Hats off to Sage. The authenticity never skipped a beat this season.
Never.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see. Shannon is gone. Episode 7 is on the horizon. Will we get a merge? Will we get a 6-tribe split? Who knows what's going to happen next week? I'm hoping for a merge. I know. I'm hoping for a merge. Maybe, I don't know. Take your bets. Do you think we're going to have a mergatory episode, or?
Well, we're down to 11, right? So usually isn't that when they merge 11?
Yeah, I'm feeling mergatory. Well, I don't know, because they're going to have to merge on an odd number. So there's one side versus the other side. Who can they get someone to flip? That's historically how it's gone down. It's never been an even 6 and 6. Usually at merge, it's usually after they merge. Now we're even. Who are we going? How are we playing?
We do have the odd man out now with 11 people. We could do tribe versus tribe. Person sits out and picks a team to win. So we could be set up for a mergatory episode just later than we normally would have had.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm excited to see the merge color. Anybody have any guesses about what this year's merge buff will be?
Purple.
I was going to say purple too.
Purple. I'm thinking maybe green.
Okay.
I don't know. Just a guess. I don't know.
It would be cool if they kept the 3 tribes and had two tribes. Did you guys just say that? Have 2 tribes go to elimination?
No, I didn't say that. That would be cool too if they did it that way.
That would be big, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
Especially since we have a 3-person tribe, that would be a very exciting tribal council. So we'll see. We will have to see. You know where you can find next week's breakdown, right here on YouTube with Reality Check Podcast and the ever lovely Sue Smey. Check out www.suesmey.com for all the latest news on Sue's life, happenings, and adventures that she's going on. And as always, we will see you in the next one, and we'll see who goes home next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.